Do you know what gaslighting is? It's when someone tries to convince you that your reality isn't real, that what you're feeling isn't actually happening. Usually it's a manipulative partner or a toxic boss. But what if I told you we're all being gaslit by our own government and the media about the state of the economy? They keep telling us everything's fine, that inflation's under control, that the job market's strong, but deep down inside, you know that's not true because groceries cost more, everyday bills are higher, your savings are smaller, and somehow, no matter how hard you work, you feel poorer. That's not just in your head. That's the result of years of economic manipulation and a system built on illusion. In this video, I'm going to pull back the curtain on what's really happening, why Americans are struggling like never before, why homelessness, debt, and wealth inequality are exploding, and why the people in charge need you to believe everything's fine. Because once you see how deep the gaslighting goes, you'll never look at the economy or those running it the same way again. The hidden cost of survival. Let's start with a simple question. If the economy is doing so great, why does it seem like everyone's struggling? More Americans than ever are working multiple jobs, not to get ahead, but just to keep their heads above water. Credit card debt just hit a new record over $1 trillion. Not because people are being reckless, but because they're using credit to cover basics like food and utilities. And interest rates for credit cards, over 24% in many cases. That's financial quicksand. Once you're in it, it's almost impossible to climb out. Buy now, pay later apps. Those used to be for big purchases, but now people are using them to buy groceries. When you need a loan just to eat, that's not convenience, that's quiet desperation. Inflation may have slowed, but the prices never came back down. They're just locked in higher permanently. And just wait until the tariff price increases hit. So even if your paycheck went up a little bit, it doesn't feel like a raise because your money doesn't go as far. Meanwhile, energy bills are spiking, rent is out of control, and Americans are being asked to smile and cheer because the economy is strong. But strong for who? Wall Street might be happy, but Main Street is getting crushed. And if you're feeling it, you're not alone. Millions of people are quietly struggling and nobody at the top seems to care to do anything about it. Homelessness and the vanishing middle. Let's talk about something that used to be rare in America, but is now becoming impossible to ignore. Homelessness. Not just in the big cities, not just in tents under bridges, but in growing numbers of neighborhoods, in the suburbs, even small towns where it never existed before. And it's not just young people or addicts. We're now seeing seniors, men and women who worked their entire lives, being priced out of housing, outliving their savings, and finding themselves sleeping in cars or worse. My friend, financial commentator Peter Grandich calls it a senior crisis, and he's right. It's one of the most heartbreaking signs that the system isn't just broken, it's actively failing the people who built it. But it's not just homelessness. Millions of young people have completely given up on the idea of home ownership. Buying a house now requires a down payment that would take 30 plus years to save at today's income levels. And even if you qualify for a mortgage, the monthly payment feels like a second rent. That used to be the American dream. A home, a family, a future. It's a luxury if you can afford it, but a fantasy for everyone else. So what's happening instead? Multi-generational living is at its highest level since the 1950s. Adult children are moving back in with their parents. Families are doubling up, not because they want to, but because they have to. And the middle class, it's quietly disappearing. Bankruptcy filings are rising. People are surrendering pets they can't afford to feed, selling furniture and clothes on Facebook Marketplace just to make rent or pay a utility bill. This isn't how things are supposed to be. This isn't bad luck or poor choices. This is a structural breakdown, and it's slowly hollowing out the backbone of America. A slow collapse hidden in plain sight. You know what's strange? If you spend any time on YouTube these days, you'll find an explosion of content around van life, living in your car, or how to stealth camp in a Walmart parking lot. At first glance, it might seem like a quirky new trend, young people chasing minimalism or freedom, but if you look closer, you'll see what it really is. It's a survival mechanism. This isn't the digital nomad dream. This is economic survival. People aren't choosing to live in cars because it's fun or exciting. They're doing it because they can't afford rent and they can't afford life in general. It's not just 20-somethings, it's families, it's seniors, it's full-time workers who simply can't keep up with rising costs. We're living through a class of people living out of their cars, not by choice, but out of necessity. And no one in Washington wants to talk about it. The collapse is what many are calling a silent depression. It's happening quietly. Auto repair shops, often recession-proof, are seeing the slowdown as well. Not because people don't need repairs, but because they're putting them off. When it's food or fixing your car, you know which one loses. Businesses doing everything right, but still going under. They advertise, they show up for work, they treat customers well, but the customers are disappearing. Not because they don't want to buy, but because they can't. People are canceling holidays, delaying doctor visits, selling stuff on eBay just to get by. And as I mentioned earlier, buy now, pay later, it used to be for big purchases. Now people are using it for groceries, even fast food. That's a huge warning sign. This isn't how a healthy economy behaves, and yet we're told it's all fine. That inflation is cooling and that unemployment is low. But tell me this, does any of this feel fine to you? And if you're waiting for someone in power to fix it, you might be waiting a while. The system isn't just failing, it's fracturing. And now we have a government shutdown, not just a budget standoff, but a full stop that halts paychecks, delays services, and blocks the release of key economic data. Job numbers, inflation reports, government debt figures, suddenly on pause. Ask yourself, why would they want to delay this data? Why now? Maybe because the truth is worse than what they want you to see. I don't know. Either way, it all points to the same conclusion. The system isn't working and the people running it know it. You see it in ICE raids the public never asked for, in the National Guard being deployed without states' consent. You see it in political officials fighting one another. The truth is, we're not just in an economic downturn, we're in a governance breakdown. In my opinion, that's far more concerning. This is the new normal, unless you opt out. So where does this all lead? Rising homelessness, rising credit card debt, out of control inflation that never really went away, a government that can't or won't function, and a working class that's exhausted, angry, and quietly giving up. Here's the truth. The economy isn't working for most everyday people. The numbers seem manipulated, the headlines are spun, and the American dream has been quietly taken off the table. But you're not crazy and you're not alone. And no one's coming to save you, but that doesn't mean you're helpless. Because here's what I believe. When you stop trusting the system, you need to start trusting yourself. You can start by paying down debt, cutting out unnecessary expenses, trying to save more, and getting out of the trap. You need to stop chasing trends and start building real financial strength. You shift from reactive to proactive, from consuming to preparing. And while the system might be built to benefit the few, you don't have to play along, you can opt out. Not all at once, not in some dramatic fashion, but slowly, deliberately, and with your eyes wide open. This video isn't about fear, it's about clarity. Because once you see it clearly, you'll never fall for the gaslighting again. If this video resonated with you, if you felt the disconnect, the pressure, the quiet unraveling, you're not imagining it. I see it too, I feel it too, and I'm not immune to it. The slow grind we're all facing, it affects me and my family as well. We're all doing our best to stay grounded, stay informed, and stay prepared. If you found value in this content, want to help me keep making videos like this one, and only if you have the means, I'd be incredibly grateful if you considered supporting the channel through a membership or over on Patreon. Links down below in the description. And whether you support financially or just by watching, liking, or sharing, I appreciate you more than you know. If you want to know how to survive this silent depression we're all experiencing, then you'll need to check out my video right up here next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.